Hello, hello. We're back with another Coulworld episode 5, take 2.
Yes.
Jesse.
Although we're probably going to put 6 in the title.
Really?
Yeah.
But
I don't know. There's a missing episode.
Yeah, I feel like if we become later though, the numbers have to make sense. I'll be like, where's 5?
We probably should have talked about this before we started the episode.
But there is an episode missing. Not missing, but it was taken down. That was last episode. We're going to address it straight off the bat.
We made some very homoerotic comments. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, that wasn't it. Basically, what happened, it was a great podcast. The podcast was What Do Women Want? And I thought it was good. Like, what we were getting at and like the topics that we were hitting were good topics and good points.
Yeah.
The problem was that we were drinking while we were doing it. And towards the latter half of the podcast, the points we were making were fine, were valid, but the way we were getting to the points, I feel like was getting a little bit loose-lipped, getting a little bit like I want to say crude, but I don't know. I think we're just swearing a lot, basically.
Yeah, I think they were like you said, we didn't articulate our points maybe that well.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got 150 views, so people who watch this have probably actually seen the episode.
Yeah.
And we didn't get any negative feedback, so. But I can understand why you preferred.
Yeah, so for context, basically, I woke up the next day and I had anxiety over it. Didn't sit well with me. I went to Jesse and told him, I was like, this is sitting funny with me. What can we do? And Jesse took it down straight away. So if you're wondering why the episode was gone, if you've seen it or you got halfway through and you went to revisit it and it was gone, that is the reason why.
Yeah.
So apologies, but that's why I'm on the waters today.
That's just straight gin. Yeah.
No.
We did actually go out for a few beers last night though.
Oh, did we?
Did we ever? Yeah, you were
Lord.
you were in fine form.
Yeah.
Went out with your work friends.
Yeah. So no lunch. It was a flat out day, so no lunch, didn't break. I had a yogurt for breakfast.
Huge.
And that was all I had all day.
You're kidding me. That's disgusting.
That was all I had all day.
That's crazy, man. How do you do that? I can't do that. I'm an eater. I need to eat.
Yeah, when you're under like the pressure and stress, like you do not even care. Like you're not hungry like that.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get this job together, you're trying to get the job out. Like you don't.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I was just in no mind. Like hunger wasn't even on my mind at all.
I've had days at work like that as well. Obviously different kind of pressure, but I've never ever just worked through the food. Like I always take that mental break of just stopping and eating. I just can't do it.
You should, even though it takes 5 minutes to eat.
Yeah, it does.
I should have stopped. Like there was no reason, and like you think about it, like maybe like the later half of the day, my productivity probably went down because I was drained. And so maybe if I took that like 15 minutes to stop, like refresh, eat, maybe I would have done more work anyway. But it's just like it's the stopping. Like I'm behind on a job, so I'm playing catch up.
Yeah,
and that's the whole thing. It's exactly the same as at uni. You ever like had an assignment that was due in 4 hours and you just slammed it out? Like you just went nuts. Like
once or twice. Yeah.
Or all nighters and that. And like you say, like, oh man, I could never like stay up all night and like just read words constantly. Well, I did that because I was stressed at uni and So that was what happened. I just didn't eat. Started having drinks at like 5:30ish.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I am
home on
balls
the couch.
deep in drunkenness.
Yeah, you weren't too bad. Like you were gone, but you weren't actually acting that rowdy.
I woke up on the ground.
Yeah, but
right
I mean,
here.
I was with you for the whole night. You were fine, other than you just kept saying, "Jesus, fuck on."
I don't know why I get so country or like real broken when I get drunk and I say the words "fuck-eyed." Like why?
You did say it a lot, eh? But it was good. I'd never seen you so happy to see me when I got there. Because for context, you were at your work drinks and you invited me to join you after I got home from work, and I came out and saw you with your friends. You're like, "Oh my god!"
I don't remember that.
Yeah. It's funny how little you remember, but we did. It was a pretty fun night actually. Met a couple of interesting people. Yeah. Your old mate from Jero.
Jai Tanner.
Yeah. Shout out if you're watching.
Played footy with like Jack Martin and all that. He was like a gun football player back in the day. Did I ask if he was playing now?
I can't remember. It might have come up. You probably did. I think he asked if you were playing. But I can't really remember.
Yeah. Well, I don't. So.
Nah, yeah.
Sorry, Jai, if you watch this.
He seemed like a really cool fella.
Yeah, if Jai watches this and he thinks like, yeah, I had a good conversation with Jordan, and I'm just sitting there being like, I don't remember it.
Yeah, you did invite him to the podcast. So he's probably going to be like, oh, next episode I'll be on. No, he probably doesn't give a shit. But yeah, no, it's good. But he was a nice fella. And then there was that bloke that we met later on. So I just came out and saw you talking to this bloke about NBA, and I came and sat down and watched you guys. And you
we're having heated debate.
It was heated. Like, I thought you guys were going to punch him at one point. I said to you, dude, I was like, should we just go inside? And you're like, no, it's fine, it's fine.
I got this.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember all of that, which is funny.
Yeah, you did seem lucid then. You didn't seem like out of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you seemed like extremely passionately angry. But like,
well, it was because he was basically saying that Ben Simmons is a shit bloke because he won't play for Australia in the Olympics. And I was just trying to say, like, who cares? Like, why would he?
Yeah.
He's not going to get paid for it.
Yeah.
Like, it's his body is literally his business. If he gets injured, if he does his ACL playing for the Olympics, like, he can forego millions of dollars. Like, not just millions, like hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah. Maybe $1 billion over his career, who knows? Like, he already makes, like, I don't know, a couple $100 million anyway. Yeah. So I was just saying, like, I wouldn't either. Like, I would stick to my business. I would stick to my NBA team. I'd play for them only. I wouldn't risk getting injured for nobody. And
he doesn't play for the US either, because he's eligible. He's bi-national, isn't he? Is that a word? Ben Simmons, is he American Australian?
No, he's Australian.
He's just Australian.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
It's just his dad's American.
Right,
but I don't know. What is that? Does that count for something?
Well, it could mean that he's eligible to play for America.
I know Kyrie Irving is.
Right.
And like, I mean, he did go to high school in America, so I don't know. Maybe he is, but I feel like it'd have to be. Yeah, actually, I don't know.
I thought old mate said last night he had the choice of playing for either country and he chose neither. But his argument was that he didn't respect him. He thought there was no integrity for not playing for your flag and stuff like that. But if
it's not a war. Like, we're not going to fight for our country. Like, he was putting like such a weight on it, like it was literally
like a real measure of character. Yeah,
and it was just like, no, it's basketball. Like, maybe for like you, like playing a sport nationally would seem huge. Ben Simmons is that good. Playing for Australia is a step down to where he's at. He would not care.
You can't expect players to like really value playing for the flag and stuff when, I mean, is international basketball even that big?
Just the Olympics.
Yeah, okay. Because like, compare it to soccer and the World Cup, comparatively, the international basketball is not really a thing, is it? Like, and if the reward system is set up so that you make a lot more money playing for a club or a team rather, then you can't. Well, in my opinion, you shouldn't judge players too heavily for favouring that. Pretty much like what you said.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anyone's a dog just because they don't play in specifically basketball. I guess I don't know about other sports how I'd feel, but it's the same as almost like. Well, maybe it's not the same thing. I was going to say, should a West Australian player try to play for an AFL team in WA? Is that like, but if he could make more money playing for Collingwood, is that the same level of being immoral or whatever?
I guess so.
But I don't think it's dog at all.
Yeah.
I think you should.
Like a Perth-born player choosing to play in Melbourne over playing for Eagles or Dockers. Yeah, I think that's obviously a lower scale because we're talking states compared to a country, but
maybe it doesn't.
I guess it's similar in a sense. Yeah.
He was an interesting fellow though. He knew a lot of football players. Gave us a few interesting stories. Yeah. Not podcast friendly stories. But
no.
Nah, but it was interesting.
No, but yeah, good to talk to him. Good to meet him anyway. So
yeah, it was a fun night. We went out hit 3 clubs after that. Well, 2 or 3 clubs after that. Do you remember that?
No.
Don't you remember that? No.
I remember being out and about. I remember eating square pizzas.
Yeah, you bought me dinner.
Sick.
And then I gave you the rest of it because you were really hungry.
I was hungry.
Yeah.
So I did eat in the end.
Yeah.
And then I came home and smashed toast.
Yeah.
And I wanted to buy Uber Eats, but
I didn't let you because you spent enough money.
Which is weird saying, like a grown man won't let another grown man buy Uber Eats with his own money.
Well, when you're saying it like this,
Jesse, I'm on Uber Eats.
then I'm not going to treat you like
a parental role, didn't you? In that moment.
My paternal instincts kicked in. I want Uber Eats. This is straight after you just like smashed heaps of toast as well. I was like, have some toast. you were credit.
I forgot that I had 5 chicken and broccoli in the fridge.
Did
like,
you?
cooked and ready to go. I should have heated up.
See, what would Uber Eats have cost you? Like $30?
Oh yeah, easy.
Not worth like a Whopper or whatever you would have got.
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, to be honest, I only just ate before as well. Because I didn't eat
Yeah,
this morning.
yeah, and... Wait, what?
I didn't eat this morning. So
Right, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah.
So I've not eaten much in the last like 12 hours, 24
and
hours.
that's the other thing I forgot to mention as well. You're back at the gym, like you're training like heavy compounds. You're doing dead squats, bench. Like when I'm doing that, I'm so hungry. My appetite is through the roof. So
I'm just trying to see it. See this, and this is the problem, and I need to start doing it. But I don't count my macros.
yeah,
Or I don't like weigh my food in general.
Yeah,
so I
me
don't
neither.
actually know how many calories I'm inputting. But what I'm trying to do is obviously be in a calorie deficit because I want to lean up.
yeah,
So I'm just doing that like randomly and just like with no like science behind it at all. And so like I'm just like I'll try to eat as little as possible and be like in my head I'm like calorie deficit. But actually I don't like I could be eating not enough or I'm not even growing muscle at all. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like I don't know. I really need to start counting it, but it just seems so daunting.
I don't think you need to. So I used to be really into it. I've always been into the gym on and off. I might not look like it, but I was always into the gym. And when I was tracking calories, I did it for like 3 years straight. And the progress that I made subsequently after that was just when I started eating the right stuff. And I guess because I'd tracked calories in the past, maybe I had a vague idea of how much a calorie.
And that's what I mean. I have no idea. So a little bit of like knowledge, I feel like. Would help. I'm not going to do it like insanely. I just want to know like some background of like how much. Yeah, because like I don't even know what I'd burn in a day.
Fair enough. Yeah, well,
especially
no one would
considering
really,
that I work in an office these days and all that. Like previously, I was out and about. Like so, yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking about getting one like a fitness watch that might like.
Oh yeah.
Track some stuff like do a workout and sort of see how many calories I'm burning and then try and like go from there and just rough out like a meal plan for a day or whatever.
Fair enough. Yeah, maybe if you do that for a couple of weeks, you'll get a good sense. But for me these days, I'm making good progress at the moment, and I literally just respond to my body, like what my body wants. And it's when I'm hungry. If I'm hungry, then I'm like, I need a meal now. Do you know what I mean? And then the trick is just to cut out okay, so if I'm hungry, I won't get McDonald's. I'll get chicken, rice, and veggies. Yeah. And I like eating chicken, rice, and veggies. So if I'm having that every meal, and then I just eat whenever I'm hungry, like that's when I'm making the most progress.
Do you eat to be full, or do you like?
Yeah,
do you fill up? Do you like once you're done eating, are you full? Because like I feel like I don't like hitting that level because then I feel like I've eaten too much and like my calories would be over.
That's true.
So,
you eat pretty moderately, hey?
I try to, but I'm not a huge person either. So like,
I suppose
you're 6'3" and you'd be like 90 kilos.
85ish,
kilos?
86, yeah.
You should be eating way more than like a 5'10" guy that's 70 kilos.
True, but you also don't eat much carbs, which I struggle with. Hey, like for instance, I've seen you a number of times have meat and veggies for dinner.
Yeah.
Like that is an absolute task for me to have just meat and veggies and no carbs for dinner.
Really?
Yeah, I love carbs, eh?
Oh, I do too. So, but like, the only carb that I really need, like I could cut out every carb. The only carb that I couldn't cut out is I like a pasta every now and then.
Yeah,
so either like
good
maybe
carbs.
once a fortnight, I will make a big pasta and I'll smash pasta for the next like 3 days. But other than that, like I can go without rice. Like I'm not obsessed with rice.
Yeah.
Weird way to say it. But,
I'm not obsessed with rice.
Like bread, I could go without bread if I wanted to.
Yeah.
You like your bread?
I love bread. Yeah. I love like a chicken sandwich and stuff like that. So I try and do it now. I don't know if this is loosely based on things like I've heard The Rock say. Like for instance, he doesn't have Dwayne Johnson. He doesn't have carbs before bed. So I think the idea is like carbs later in the day is less good, especially if they're sugary carbs in terms of putting on fat while you sleep, I think.
Subway bread.
Yeah, Subway bread recently ruled by, was it the Irish High Court that it's confectionery because it has too much sugar in it to be considered bread?
Yeah, so that Jeremy guy is lying. We all knew it, but now it's official. He's lying.
Sex offender and a liar.
Yeah.
Daniel Bush or anyone? No. Sorry.
Has he watched this?
Probably not. So it's fine. Hey, nice. Daniel.
Throw some slight jabs at him.
Yeah. Man, where were we? Oh yeah, no. So I will
something.
generally have carbs before the gym and early in the morning if I can, and then my last meal is when I try and cut out like carbs. So that's when I'll likely have just meat and veggies. But I wouldn't do that before the gym because I can feel the difference.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, but I'm sure it'd be like it's almost like it's almost like detoxing though. Like if you stop eating carbs after like a week or two, people say it gets easier to not eat carbs. So if it's habit, then you'll actually adjust to
Just
it.
like everything, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just had a point and I literally just forgot it.
I'm like, oh my god,
this is terrible
this
content.
is shambles. Nah. What about your fitness regime at the moment?
Yeah. So I'm just trying to like do something every day. So because I was like getting deep. I was going deep down the rabbit hole of like, what should my split be? Like, what day should I go? What day should I rest? And then I sort of just like, if I feel like lifting, I'm just gonna lift. If I don't feel like lifting, then I'm gonna go for a run or a bike ride or something like that. So trying to keep it to how I feel and like keep like it flexible and whatever you're into that day. But I think it's good doing a push pull and leg session a week.
Yeah.
So at least 3 times at the gym. I got that new running spot that I got now, so I mapped it out, and that's like 5Ks. So that's a nice little one to do. And how long did that take me last time? I was going for a little bit.
I couldn't tell
I
you.
think it was like 45 minutes.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And it's like big hills, but like not like steep hills. It's like real graduate, but they would last for like maybe like 500 meters or something. So it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
So that's good as well. It sort of breaks it up. So like obviously pushing up the hill sucks. But then you get to the other side and you sort of get that momentum and you just sort of like, you know, when you run, but you're putting more emphasis on the stopping when you run down a hill. Have you ever done that? Like when you're jogging down a hill?
Not really.
And instead of like feeling the motion of exploding through, you're more feeling like the stop.
Oh yeah.
Because like the hills, so like it's like that. So
okay.
Like,
yeah.
You be battle through the hill, and then after that you get that break of like
Yeah.
and then it's so that's good. So yeah, just trying to run and lift weights at this stage
and eat healthy. That's our gym advice.
Yeah.
No, that's good. What would your advice be to someone who is wanting to get into the gym for the first time or has maybe taken a long break? What would you say? Because you're someone who used to be really into the gym and then time's kind of gotten in the way. Like you obviously work hard and then you find it struggling to find the time. What would your advice be to someone who maybe been in that position?
Yeah, if you're in that position where you had been into the gym before and like had done the gym and like had
completed, mate.
Had worked out previously and like had that muscle memory, I think just first of all get back into it. Like it's always daunting because like you go in there like, oh my god, I'm not going to push as much weight. Like it's going to be embarrassing. Like first of all, no one really cares. Like no one's really watching.
Yeah, biggest myth is that people look at each other in the gym.
Yeah,
unless maybe if you're a newbie. Like you're looking at what people are doing. Exactly. But once you've been there for a little while, like I don't give a shit about people.
Yeah. You put your headphones in and it's literally your own little world.
Yeah.
Except if it is a bootylicious girl.
Oh yeah.
Everyone, you
I'm
can look
not
around
looking.
like everyone's looking at her and you're like,
I'm not looking at what exercise she's doing or like what she's squatting.
I like her form. No, so yeah, if someone like that where you had the form previously, that's the whole thing. If you had the form previously, I'd say get back into it. Don't worry about it. Go light. Try pump out like a lot of reps and less weight, and just get that like muscle memory going. Get those those movements going in again, and then before you know it, like you pick up the strength pretty quickly.
You do, yeah.
So
might take a couple of weeks, but then when it happens,
it might take longer than that. It might take like a month or 2 months. Yeah. But you'll be surprised how strong you'll get over a 2-month period.
Regains are sick, man. I've gone through like a little transformation like in the last since COVID really, and like in the gym's reopened. Yeah. I've been getting way back into the gym. Yeah. And I've had a few people notice and be like, wow, you've changed a lot. But the secret is I worked really, really hard when I was like 23 to get big. And then I would never have been able to make the same progress if I'd never done it before. Yeah,
100%. I think that was the best thing that we did was that period when we were like, how old were we?
24.
Really?
23 maybe. It was like 2017 that we were benching like 100
Oh, that is true. No, it was because I played footy for Bridgetown in 2017, so it's 2016.
Could have been 16.
2016. Yeah. But we got into the gym flat out for Was it the year?
We were going twice in one day sometimes. Like
Yeah.
I went 8 times in a week.
And we were ridiculously strong.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
strength that, like, I mean, I was benching 100 kgs.
Yeah.
We did incline benches of 80 kilos, which is nuts. Like, the only person I've seen do that was Rada.
Yeah.
And Rada was this, like...
Thick 2 Cs.
Yeah. And, like, he was like Russian. Just like a strong Russian dude.
Big Polish unit.
Polish it was,
Yeah.
Russian. One of the fucked ones. I don't know which one, it was one of them. Sorry to anyone that's Polish or sure.
Yeah, that's a joke.
Yeah, so he was the only other person I've seen do that, other than Jack Bridgeton, but Jack Bridgeton's a freak.
Yeah,
so that's not even.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's
true.
That's interesting. And then
I mean, it's really strong by your dimensions, like your height and weight. I will say I'm actually quite weak for my size. So I've always looked like I can bench more than I can, which is a good thing. I'd rather look big and strong and bench like 80.
yeah, it's like low maintenance. like I don't need to push that much weight to look like this.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like people who maybe are in less good shape than me, but maybe my like general frame can bench more than me.
Yeah. But everyone has their exercises. Like I
True.
was always good at deadlifts and benching.
Yeah.
I think from memory you had a really strong back. Like you were
I
really
do
good
have a
at,
strong
like,
back, yeah. My chest
pull
is
downs.
sweet. Yeah, pull
I
downs.
remember you were like ridiculously, like you could pull down way more than what I could do.
Yeah, that's true. The lats are like the one good thing. Shoulders and chest, not so much.
Yeah.
So. But like I'm 6'3", and then I was probably like 88 kilos at that time, and I benched 100 for 1 rep. Whereas I know people that will go to the gym, like and be able to bench 100 within weeks, but not look as big as me.
Yeah,
which is a good thing. It's not a flex. It's just an observation. Like, it's good and bad, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine like being just a fat, skinny slob and benching like 120. Like, who cares?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that is true. And it's funny because you also get that in like the AFL. Like there's some guys that you look at, like Lockie Whitfield, you'd say he cannot play.
Oh,
and
right, yeah.
He literally is a gun.
Yeah, yeah,
so
true.
It's similar to that. Like, would you rather be really good at something, but like just absolutely not look it?
Yeah.
Or would you rather like be the fraud that looks like he's good at that thing and he can't do it at all?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You watch Impulsive, Logan Paul?
Occasionally. When there's an interesting guest.
Yeah. Do you know Charlie Rocket?
No.
So he's been on twice, and he's like, it's incredibly inspiring. And I don't know that much about him, but all his podcasts are super inspiring. Like he's this guy who was like crazy backstory, but he was a music artist manager, and I think he managed like big people like 2 Chainz back in the day.
Physically large.
He was really fat, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And basically, like, he's this guy, and he like he believes in like manifestation, like an insane amount. Like, has so much belief in manifestation, and I guess the universe, and like he has like a dream journal or whatever he calls it, writes goals down. And like he was this health fat guy, and he wrote a goal down one day that he's going to be a Nike. Why is that funny?
Just laugh how you just identified him as he's just a real fat guy with a dream.
Well, because he wrote down one day he wanted to be a Nike cover athlete.
Oh, okay.
And he became a Nike cover athlete.
Fuck, that's
like
sick.
he's so like he has done some like ridiculously weird things, and he boils it down to like one being positive. His like whole motto is like win streak. So he believes that like in the day, if you count your win streaks rather than count your losses, you'd be way better off, which is really fucking true.
Yeah, true.
So like through the day, he will like something might happen. Like he might say, if I get in my car to drive out the complex and I press the button for the roller door, and that roller door's a bit dicky, like it sometimes takes a few presses. Yeah. If I pressed the first go and the roller door opened, he would be like, roller door opened with 1 press, win streak. Like I'm on today. Today's gonna be a good day.
Interesting. Yeah.
So that's the way. Like, it's these small things that you would not even consider, but he would like constantly log it and be like, win. That's a win. That's a win. That's a win. And he's constantly like, he feels like he's searching for the next win, and that's why he has like positive things happen to him.
Interesting.
Is because he's not noting the negative.
Yeah.
But he's like, he's really into like the manifestation side of things, which is just like an interest topic in general.
Yeah.
Where do you fall on that? Do you believe in I can't even say it.
Well, you nailed it like 3 times there, and then the fourth one you tumbled up.
I'm overthinking it.
It's really interesting. I don't think there's really too much denying about it. It's interesting. They're just random you just randomly remind me of something Matty Rao said, which was interesting. You know, Matty Rao, the number 1 draft pick from Gold Coast, played like one game, got 3 votes probably. We're going to find out. The redhead dude, yeah.
Nice.
He was on a podcast once and he was just talking about how he said sometimes like being confident, like one thing he does is almost like tricks himself so that like he will give himself like little little wins in his training to convince himself that he's done the preparation, even if he maybe hasn't.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So he, like little triggers like that will put him in the positive state of mind, and he says like that helps him do well. But like,
interesting.
But to answer your question about this, what's interesting is there's like there's a couple of different schools of thought on manifestation. Now there's something called the law of attraction. Have you ever heard of that? It's my dad's kind of like into it at the moment, so he's talking to me about it. But like, so the law of attraction is more or less you'll attract what you put out there, like through electromagnetic energy and stuff like that. And that is mostly based on the idea that if you just think about what you want and positively put that energy out there, then you will attract it. I'm not sure if I'm totally on board with that. I'm more inclined to think that your positive thinking and thinking about a topic is definitely helpful, but it's more so in the way that it subconsciously affects how you act.
Yeah.
And then your actions over time will add up to achieving that goal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what people think who are watching this who are familiar with the law of attraction and stuff as well. But he had an interesting example. So for those who haven't watched an earlier pod on Coulworld, I've talked about how my dad's widowed, obviously. So one thing he wanted to do as part of his grieving process was at 67 years old, he obviously wanted to find a wife to sort of spend the rest of his life with. He didn't want to be like alone, you know. So what he said is then part of the law of attraction, or people who subscribe to the law of attraction sort of suggest like they have like a dream board or something like that. Yeah, and basically visualize what they want and have pictures and stuff like that. Can't remember if he actually, what he had a picture of or what he was doing. Basically, he just thought about how he wanted to meet someone. Okay, and then 8 months later, my dad's, well, however long it was, my dad's now engaged. That actually happened. But I guess the interesting argument is like, I think he believes that there's actually a spiritual element to that, and that like it's actually through his positive thinking he's attracted that.
Yeah.
But then the other argument is because he's visualized that and it's affected his subconscious and it affects how he acts, he's put himself in environments where he meets people, like he goes out and socializes a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, where do you sit on that? Do you think, are you kind of like spiritual at all, or do you think it's more likely to affect you through your actions?
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's, well, my opinion is that it's behavioral.
Yeah.
So it
well, that's the easiest way to reconcile it. Is that like to say that you believe in law of attraction is to say that you believe in something that you can't prove. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so there's an element of faith there. So it is easier to say that. But sorry, continue.
Yeah. And I mean, to go back to like sort of what we were talking about before, you could put on your dream board like a bloke with the best rig, and you can like think about that rig for the rest of your life, and you'll never develop that rig. Like you will never look like that.
Sure.
The only reason why you will is if you change your behavior. You start going to the gym, you start working out, and like instead of like just being this weird like energy that you put out and like it attracts. I think it's more towards like if you put the things in place, like you obviously achieve it. So I'd rather that over spiritually.
Yeah.
And then also like, I guess in terms of like your dad's situation, he probably, because he wanted it so bad, he would see opportunities more than if he like was not into getting married again. So like, I mean, we go out and we're like not looking for a wife. So like we might go out and we might spend the entire time not talking to a single girl, just having fun with our mates and just like doing that because that's where our mindset is at. Yeah. But if we went out and said like, I'm going to find a girlfriend, you'd probably go up and you'd probably talk to like every girl you see would be like, she could be the one, like I'm going to talk to her. So like it again, through seeking out that in your mind, like it changes your behaviors and you'll be more open to the opportunity when it arises.
Yeah, definitely. I think it, do you think it's something that you employ? Do you like visualize much in what you do? What motivates you, I guess?
I used to. Like I used to be real like I'm just a visual person in general. Like that's the way I learn.
Right.
I learn by like watching something.
Yeah.
I'm not like uni, for example. Like, I'm not a person that can just like read a textbook about a theory and then implement that theory.
Yeah.
Like, I need to see someone do it, and I need to see how it operates before I can like jump in and do it myself.
Yeah.
So I always been like a pretty visual person, like specifically with footy as well, or sports in general. I could like close my eyes and visualize like situations that happen on the field.
Right.
And then when those situations arise, my brain would literally just be an autopilot, and it would just like do whatever I thought of. Like, I could visualize like crumbing a pack, kicking a goal, and then like in a game, like I'll see the ball come in, I'll like see the pack, and like I don't know what happens, but my brain just goes in like into autopilot, and all of a sudden I'm running into the perfect position, the ball comes off, I get it, I swing straight onto my left and I kick a goal.
Interesting.
And people are like, how do you do that? It's like, I don't know, I literally did, like there was no thought in that. But I'd like seen that in my head weeks ago.
Yeah.
Something like that happening.
What about like at work? Do you visualize, because you obviously have goals at work, do you visualize yourself becoming licensed
like
valuer and stuff like that? Successful, interesting.
Yeah. But I don't know if that's like visualizing in a motivating sense, or just like fantasizing about like the future and like what it could be.
It's kind of the same thing.
I guess so.
I think if you, as long as you're picturing it,
Yeah,
like you need to know, like it's good to have the self-awareness about what you want as well.
Yeah.
Which is probably where like I'm at an interesting point where I'm working very hard on like YouTube and stuff, but I really need to figure out what the vision actually is. Like what is the end goal? Because I don't know what it is yet. I don't, like, people ask me, what are you doing this for? It's like, probably to sustain an income doing YouTube full time, but that's very vague, you know? Like I don't really know what the end goal is.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. I don't know if I'm like full towards like setting goals and just being like one straight to that goal. Like I think you definitely need to have like some sort of flexibility. Yeah. And I think if people ask you like, why are you doing this? You'd say like, I'm following my passion. Like what comes out of it, like will come out of it. But like I'm following my passion. I feel like I'm good at it, and that's why I do it. Yeah. So like, and I like that side of things. So like I've goal set, because I'm obviously doing a traineeship. I've goal set to being a licensed valuer, but I have set no goals past that because I don't want to limit myself to just being a valuer. There's so many opportunities out there. I want to be like open-minded enough to allow myself the flexibility to, if opportunity comes, to be able to take it, not be like, no, that wasn't on my vision board, I'm not going to do that. Or like, no, that's not part of my 5-year plan, I can't do that.
Well, that's true, yeah. That I talked about it in a previous pod as well. I'm a big believer in short-term goals and not necessarily having large goals. So for me, it'll be maybe like, like maybe making a video that's really good, or it'll be like a certain amount of subs by the end of the year and stuff like that. That's the way I operate. I'm the same. I think that's a good way to be, to be honest.
I'm the same. I definitely think, I mean, we talked about this in lessons from our 20s, the podcast, episode 3?
Yes, it was 3.
Episode 3?
Yeah.
And small goals, smash them out. And then like, I mean, if you do that, eventually you'll stand at the end of the road, look back and look at all the things you achieved.
Yeah, and that's like what you talked about before. If you set little goals and win, then that puts you in that positive frame of mind. Yeah. Which I'm a very negative person. I was literally having a conversation with Dad about this, and I'm just...
Is that just your personality? Like, where's that stem from?
It's a great question, hey. My dad, because my sisters and I are the same, and my dad is the opposite, and he's like a really adventurous. When he, at least with our age, he was bold. He made decisions. He just like fly across the world with no money, and and he's raised us to be really conservative, and we're all the exact opposite. And a great example of the mindsets are, Dad's the sort of person who will, and I know I work with so many people like this, will think of, here's a problem, here's this solution, let's work it out, and then like, let's work it out as we go. Whereas...
do it on the fly kind of thing.
Yeah, and whereas my sisters and I, or at least certainly my eldest sister, will be the sort of person who will be like, okay, that's your plan, Dad, here's 3 reasons why that won't work. Yeah. Whereas Dad's mindset will be like, okay, but then we'll tackle it when it comes. Yeah. And so he's the positive one, we're the negative one. Yeah. And I really need to get out of that. And so I'm 26 now. I don't know how I'm going to change my mindset, but that's probably something I really need to do. Like, even when I'm talking about people with True Footy and people are like, oh, you should do this, is a great idea. I'll be like, I could do that, but this is the reason I haven't yet. And I'm just like, fuck, that's lame. Like, I need to stop doing that, otherwise I'm never going to get anywhere. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, that is true.
It stems into positive thinking.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I would say I guess I'm a positive thinker, but I don't know if I could categorize myself in either way.
Wow, how do you approach like problem solving? It's a hard question if you haven't thought about it before.
Without really knowing the situation, it's hard to hard to know. I think I'm a pretty logical person in like when there's problems, like personal problems. I think I'm pretty logical in that sense.
Sure.
But then I definitely also am like a bit of a dreamer. I'm like a little bit out there in that sense. So maybe I would fall in the bracket of like being like a real optimistic person.
Yeah.
Like I definitely don't like you. I'm not a glass half empty.
No, I definitely wouldn't say you're negative at all.
But but then it's funny because then my brother is such a pessimistic person.
Yeah,
like, super conservative. Like exactly like what you're like. Like could give 3 reasons why something won't work.
Yeah.
And I probably would be like, cross that when it comes to it. Like I'll figure it out. Like that'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
You're far more likely to succeed with that attitude, I think. To being bold and taking the risk.
Yeah. Well, just because you're bold and like you take more opportunities, and like it's not like you're going to succeed at every opportunity you take.
Yeah.
But through taking more opportunities, like you'll have more losses, but you'll also have more wins.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's also that as well.
Yeah.
One thing. Are you like afraid to fail? What's like does it stem from that? Not wanting to fail, not wanting to.
I don't feel. I think everyone maybe has a degree of fear of failure, but I don't feel like that really drives me too much.
I've only felt it since being in this job, which is crazy.
Fear of failure?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But it's like a good motivator.
Yeah.
It drives you.
One thing my dad said to me once, I can't remember if I said this on the pod or in person, but that was kind of when I was going through my funk with True Footy like a month ago. And he said like the worst thing you can do at your age is be conservative. And that that really flicked the switch for me. I was like, yeah, everything I'm doing is conservative. Like, yes, I'm pursuing a career on YouTube, but I work fucking hard at my 9-to-5 job on top of that as well. Yeah. I've never really taken too many risks in my life. So I think it's about time to really push the envelope with YouTube and stuff.
That's cool. What one would you consider your side hustle? Is YouTube your side hustle or is Bunnings the side hustle?
I think for as long as Bunnings pays the bills, it's my primary job.
Yeah. I mean, it technically is, but like... Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I guess there's a shift now where I almost consider it like I have 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas when I haven't had the time to do True Footy, that's when it suffered and I've felt shit about it. And I'd love to do more of it. Like, I'd love to have more time to do this stuff.
It's kind of a bit unfortunate that you're ramping up, you've got a new camera, like you're feeling this all new motivation, and like there's a game tonight, there's a grand final next week, and then nothing after that. I know.
Well, you know what? I was looking at my stats, and I haven't hit 10k views on a video since January, but I did 3 10k videos in a row in January, which is good.
What were they?
Adam Simpson documentary, reacting to the West Coast Eagles new song, and some other one I can't remember. Yeah. But I don't know. That gave me hope. I'm going to still work hard over the summer.
I mean, there's cool things that you can do. Like that, like regardless, like there's so much history and story within the AFL. Like, and like you're really good at the storytelling side of things. So I think if you do more of those like documentaries or like the rise and fall of so and so and like or the career timeline of X player, whatever it might be. Yeah. And I think people would soak that stuff up more.
And it did last longer on YouTube as well. Like my footy tips video will last a week before it's old news.
Because then it's like redundant.
Yeah. Cheers. Well, we've probably only got a few minutes left on the potty. Is there anything else you want to cover? The only reason I'm saying that is because we are on True Footy Live in a matter of 22 minutes. Holy shit. Okay. Whew. Sweet.
No, we'll wrap it up. It's a short one today. Because we haven't had much time and we just haven't uploaded in a while, so we wanted to. It
has been a while, yeah.
We want to smack one out.
I feel like there's more to talk about on this topic as well.
There is. It's a huge topic, and maybe we'll revisit it, but it's all interesting stuff. So appreciate everyone who's watched, support.
We're on iTunes I just don't know about iTunes yet. We're on Spotify.
We're on Spotify.
Yeah.
So
and other podcast apps
on your commutes to work. On the bus, on the train.
Yeah.
I've actually started doing that just quietly at the end.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've stopped listening to music so much.
Really?
Started listening to podcasts more.
Interesting.
So on the bus and on the train. And I don't know, but I have this theory that it would make you smarter.
Maybe, yes. Actually,
it would definitely broaden my vocabulary, and because I'm hearing people discuss topics, I'll become more knowledgeable about those topics.
Interesting.
Which I really want to broaden my vocabulary as well. I want to because my job is literally writing reports. That's a side that I really like want to get better at.
I think your vocabulary is pretty good.
Like it's not average, it's not crap, but
Yeah.
like I just want to get better at it.
Yeah.
It's not like a weakness of mine or anything, but I just
It's
think
perfectly
it's
cromulent.
something- Huh?
It's perfectly cromulent.
See, like I don't even know what that is.
It's a made-up word from The Simpsons. There's a 50
Like,
chance you're going to...
this
See, I don't know what cromulent means.
I thought I was like, what is this man saying?
Fuck, that's really hit me in the guts.
So yeah, listen to us on Spotify on your daily commutes to work. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Get around it.